Hello everyone. You remember Noughts and Crosses, favorite children's game, and I thought about the crochet version of this. So Noughts and Crosses, this is very handy little game. You've got couple pockets to put things away and a little string to just keep it secure. And so I will show you how to make flowers, how to make mushrooms, and how to make the base this like a boat, and then I will show you how to make surface stitch and a crochet border. I'm using crochet hook 4mm and DK yarn. Any yarn will work for this game. So we'll start with flower center. I show you slowly how to make magic loop or magic circle. If you pause it and repeat, you can make magic circle or magic ring. Let's see it again. Make like a loop and then insert your hook inside that loop and make chain 1. But then you will need to crochet over those 2 strands of yarn. So make 6 single crochets. Another version will be if you make chain 2 and 6 single crochet in the first chain stitch. Or maybe make chain 4, slip stitch, make it into the little ring, and then make 6 single crochet in that ring. So anyway it will work. You need 6 stitches. Then when you pull the end, it should close the opening. Find the first stitch, first single crochet, and make a slip stitch. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. Then we will make white petals. Be careful over here, you don't need to have an extra stitch. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because when you start crocheting, this part will become, the slip stitch will slide over and you can have an extra stitch, so be careful of that. That was my personal experience, so I ended up with 7 petals, or I had to redo my flower. So start with 3 chain stitches, and then we are making puff stitch. So it is yarn over into the stitch, pick the yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and 3 more times. So it is puff stitch made of 5 unfinished double crochets. I'm making 5 unfinished double crochet. If you've got thicker yarn, maybe you will be fine with only 3 unfinished double crochets. By the way, it will be puff stitch. You make as many as you want according to your yarn thickness. This white is quite thin yarn, that's why I've decided on 5 stitches. Over here, what I was talking about, this slip stitch kind of sliding off, so make sure you go into the next stitch and making single crochet. This hole will be closing up later. after we make 6 petals. So for second petal, count your stitches again, make sure you've got only 6 petals. Next petal, 3 chain stitches, and again puff stitches made with 5 unfinished double crochets. 3, 4 and 5. You have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through everything, and 3 chain stitches. Then single crochet in the next stitch and repeat. Chain 3, puff stitch. You can make the flower any other way you prefer, it really doesn't matter, honestly, it's just a flower. I know that there are a million ways of how to do flower, and I would do it according to the type of yarn I've got handy. So if you've got thicker yarn, maybe you don't need 5 double crochets, you may need only 3, and so on. Then single crochet in the next stitch, 3 chain stitches, and repeat. At the end you should have 6 petals. If this is too fast for you, you can always go to settings on this video. If you look on mobile device, it would be like a little circle in the right corner of your screen, so click on it and find playback speed. You can put 1 or you can put 0.5 and it will play very slowly for you if you crochet long. Sometimes it is very handy to make it very slow, but if you are more experienced, it's just the ideas for you, you can just skip it. Anyway, I would appreciate any feedback, what you like, what you don't like, and this helps me to improve the quality of my videos, and maybe you've got some other ideas. And so this is the last petal of this flower, 6 petals. Last petal I'm doing, of course, faster because it was slower on the first 2 petals. This is just the same, so no point to waste your time. If you just understand what to do, you can pause the video and finish your flower. Then attaching the last petal and making 1 more chain stitch just to secure this last stitch, to make sure it will not get undone. After you cut the yarn, you can take this end on the wrong side of the flower and then weave the ends. I will show you how to weave the ends. I know lots of people ask how to put away those loose ends. I could have started crocheting over the ends to save me job, but it would be a little bit more complicated for beginners. So at the end I will show you how to weave the ends. Making knots just for more security, because I know when children will be playing they will just pull it to, you know, all the sides. If you've got darning needle with a large opening, that's very handy. Otherwise you will be using just crochet hook. And then you're going through your puff stitches, taking these ends inside. And do exactly the same with yellow. If they are different lengths, you want to make them the same length, it's just easier. And now let's make mushroom. I start with 3 chain stitches. Two single crochets in the second chain stitch, two single crochets in the third chain stitch, and here my quality goes away somewhere, I'm very sorry for that. Chain 1, turn your work, make sure that you start with your first stitch, make 2 single crochets, then 1 single crochet, then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and 2 single crochet in the last stitch. Now you've got 6 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Next round 6 single crochets, chain 1, turn, 6 single crochets, and this is the top part of my mushroom. 6 stitches, chain 1 and cut the yarn. I'm attaching white in the second stitch. Chain 1 to attach and single crochet in the same stitch. Second single crochet, third, and one more, fourth. So 4 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. Here you can see I'm not touching the chain stitch, I'm going into the first single crochets. So for 4 stitches. Four single crochet second round of white, chain 1 and repeat 4 single crochets. chain 1, and now I will show you how to make single crochet decrease. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull it through, and repeat. Insert your hook into first stitch, insert your hook into the next stitch, draw up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over and pull it through. And this is first mushroom is ready. Make chain 1 to secure last stitch and cut the yarn. You will need to weave all those ends. First white I can cut because I was crocheting over it, so now I can cut. And using the darning needle we will weave other ends. And after you make all those little mushrooms and flowers, we will be making the actual base of the game, like crochet the boat, as it's a boat games. As you will need 3 of those mushroom or flowers, doesn't matter, in 3 columns, yeah, 3 items in 1 row. So you make the chain long enough to cover those 2 space 3 items. I've made chain 40 and then double crochet in the 4th chain stitch, and then I keep going with double crochets in every chain stitch all the way till the end. You may work in the 3rd loop, in the bump at the back of the chain, it doesn't really matter. I go with just ordinary, just very simple way. And if you want your boat to be straight, you shouldn't lose any stitches, so I'm putting stitch marker in the 3rd chain stitch, so this will be my last stitch when I go back. And so you just keep going, double crochets all around, and so it was 37 double crochets, then 3 chain stitches. 3 chain stitches will replace my first double crochet, so you don't start with the first double crochet, you start with the 2nd double crochet stitch. And I will be working in a front loop only. You can go with 2 loops, it doesn't really matter after all. The matter is that you keep those edges very straight, so don't lose any stitches. And to help this, I will be using stitch marker in the 3rd chain stitch, so this will be my last stitch when I go back. And so you keep going, double crochets all over, all the way till the end, in the front loop only. If your yarn is not thick enough, you can go with half double crochets. You can adjust the width and length of this boat for yourself according to the items you have got. So this is just the idea for you guys how to do this lengths and widths. You can adjust, and by making this double crochet in the front loop, you will have just nice lines in between. I like how it works. If you want it more textured, you can even go with third loop. And so at the end, yeah, you've got stitch marker in the third chain stitch. So this will be last double crochet. And when you go further, you might for the next row, you make 3 chain stitches, again double crochet in the second double crochet, yeah. Have a look carefully there. Chain 3 stitches will replace your first double crochet, and I'm putting stitch marker in the third chain stitch. And so like this, like that, I'm going for 21 row, and you can go for as long as you want. Just make it according to the width you want, width and length. And now let's make little pockets where we can store little items. I will be making chain 15. Again, this is adjustable. You will go according to the size of the items you've got. To be honest, I could have done with a little bit wider, couple more stitches wider. And then double crochet in the 4th chain stitch, and double crochets all the way. I go slightly faster because everyone knows how to do double crochets. I just want to show you the end of the row and the beginning of the row. It is again to keep your stitches straight, your edges straight. You do exactly the same. You make 3 chain stitches. That will replace your first double crochet. So you will start with second double crochet, and I will still go in the front loop only. So keep going with double crochets all the way till the end for as many rows as you want. I will be making only 4 rows, but it is optional again. It depends on the size of the item. So if you've got chunkier wool, maybe you will need to increase amount of rounds or decrease. You will have a look according to the yarn you've got. This is just ordinary decay or worsted. I think this gray is worsted yarn, white was decay, and yellow was chunky. So the last double crochet goes into the 3rd chain stitch. Next row 3 chain stitches and double crochet. Start with the 2nd double crochet. And I have made 4 rows. Leave the end, chain 1, and cut the yarn, leaving the edge, leaving the end. So as you can see, this will lay nicely. And if you do according to my pattern stitch to stitch, so I've done 21 row for the boat, and then you make little pockets, couple pockets, and then using this end you will just go around stitching it. So this is the base, and then we will need to go around. I will show you how to make the border, how to make surface stitch, just like little green lines. But first let's attach those pockets. You will attach it obviously around 3 sides only. You need to leave the opening where you will put your things in. So first I'm using just to place where I want it to be, roughly. Of course it could be great if you do it symmetrical, but otherwise it doesn't really matter. I'm sorry, I don't know why my screen is jumping sometimes. I didn't really touch the camera. Maybe I did not notice. I'm sorry, I will do better next video. It's just I started a full-time job and my YouTube channel is just like my hobby, but I want to keep it going. I don't want to disappoint my subscribers. I just wanted to make something new, and this something new I think will be very interesting and a very useful video for you guys, because summer is coming and you all gonna go picnics or maybe holidays. So this is just a very handy little game to take on holidays, to take on picnic. It doesn't take much space, and I'm sure that children would love to play it. Even adults would love to play it. Lots of adults still play this knots and crosses game, and this handmade game will just add more fun. And so you just go around, and now I will show you how to make a surface stitch. I have left 5 rows, and then it will be the line, and then again 5 rows. This is my pattern. You check your pattern. Maybe you've got different widths, different lengths. It doesn't matter. You just place your flowers and mushrooms and find the lines where you want to make them. I will show you how I make surface stitch. If you don't like surface stitch, if it's too difficult for you, maybe you just make needle and go with green across. So you pick the loop from inside, keep the yarn inside, and pull in a loop to the surface, and this is how it's called, surface stitch. Yes, it is a little bit awkward. You need to find the correct position and practice. But it is very handy stitch, and I think it looks awesome. And like this, I will find the space for these are like vertical lines, and it will be 2 horizontal lines as well. So you make the spaces for knots and crosses, like you know what I mean. And so you just keep going. I will pause the camera. And the border, start with single crochet, 2 chain stitches, then 2 double crochets in the same stitch, skip 1 stitch and make single crochet, and repeat. Chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain, skip 1 and make single crochet. Repeat this pattern all the way around. I started from the middle because I want to end with the middle, and then I will make a string to tie this game. Just one, I will say that I skip 1 stitch, make single crochet, right? And it kind of goes a little curly. So to avoid this, if it does go curly on you and you don't like it, you want to avoid it, there is a few options. First option, you take a smaller hook size and your stitches will be smaller. Second option, sometimes you skip 1 single crochet, 1 stitch, sometimes you skip 2 stitches, so you will watch out how many stitches you skip, because I've tried to skip 2 stitches all the time and it kind of was pulling the edge. I didn't like it, so I end up with skipping sometimes 1 stitch, sometimes 2 stitches. Oh, I'm not happy with the quality of myself. I'm very sorry, but I will not redo this video because this is weekend, and on Monday next week I go in working full time. I'm very sorry, but I promise my next video I will do more carefully. So in the corner you go single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and you are on the other side of this boat, and repeat 2 chain stitches, 2 double crochets in the same stitch. I will try to get a written pattern of this game in my Etsy store, hopefully very soon. On the other side you go around and you do exactly the same, and it will be kind of single crochet will go, how do you say it, in each row. You know, each row will have single crochet, and it's kind of see each row, yeah. So you keep going with the same border or around. Again, if you feel that it is start curling, you maybe need to skip a little bit more space between your the stitches. And with the last stitch you finish in the border, but you don't cut the yarn. Make long chain, not very long, few stitches. Later I found out that maybe 2 chains, you know, like when you roll this game, maybe two chains would be the better option, but I've done only 1, so it's just afterthought. I'm making the bobble at the end of this chain. Maybe to make it more pretty you can add flower. But I will show you how I've made a bobble. This is just long enough to tie this game, and in the fourth chain stitch I'm making the bobble puff stitch, very similar what we were making for flower petal. This time I have made 4 unfinished double crochets. This green yarn is chunkier, yarn over and pull through everything. Then make 3 chain stitches, and I want to finish this bobble attaching this chain stitch to the beginning of the bobble stitch. Something like that, and then weave the ends. And I hope, guys, you like my idea. I'm sorry that the camera is jumping sometimes. I don't know what's going wrong. Maybe I didn't notice that I was touching my phone. I'm doing this video on my phone. I'm very sorry, guys, but still hope that you will find this video useful and idea interesting. That's what I'm hoping for. And don't forget to check my turtle memory game. I really enjoyed this memory game, and we are taking this turtle memory game everywhere with us now. So this will be our second game. Something like that it should look. So you need to have like those squares made with surface stitch, or maybe you will just go run along with green yarn with your needle, or something like that. So you will need to make 5 flowers, 5 mushrooms to play this game. And the idea is that you need to make straight lines